Hey, welcome. This is February 22nd. We are doing another blind date with a book. Welcome, everybody, into the room. We're going to have a blast tonight. Tonight is children's books number 2. I love children's books. So much fun. So, this is Blind Date with a Book. If you want to catch the last, I think there's 5 more events coming up this month between now and the 28th. Check out our Facebook page. We have the listing of all the events and all the Zoom links, and share them with your friends. And everybody, don't forget to come to the wrap party on the 28th. That's going to be an event where everybody gets to share their faces and their voices, and we can all just kibitz and talk. You know, it's a virtual cocktail party is essentially what it is, without the alcohol on my side of things. You want to drink in your room? You go right ahead. That's on the 28th at 7 o'clock, and we're going to give away some more prizes and just have fun chatting with the authors in an open air room. So feel free. Tonight, while you are filling out this magical, see, there it shows up on the screen like magic, the magic we're curious poll, if you could answer that for me, I would appreciate it. This is going to help me in future marketing and future outreach, to know where everybody's coming from and how they got here. While you're doing that, I'm going to tell you about our Pages Promotions virtual pop-up bookshop. It's a cozy little place we created in the digital universe where you can order autographed books and snazzy book plates to support authors. They will sign them. They're all limited edition and numbered. So feel free to ask for those. This bookshop is simply a conduit to the authors. I'm not taking a share in their royalties. I'm not taking a cut. This is 100% just me connecting you with authors in the most direct route I know how to do digitally. If you want to order book plates, click on their name, the name of the author, and that will connect you directly with the author either through their email address or the contact name page on their website. And you can order your book plates directly from them. And if you're curious about what the book plates look like, I have one right here. They're really super snazzy and super cool. See, Andrew's got one too. And they are, as I said down here, they are numbered. I hand numbered 1,000 of these puppies. So there's lots of them out there. Feel free to ask the authors and they will send them to you. Okay, Kate, you put the link for the bookshop up. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Tonight, we are going to hear 3 amazing children's book authors read from their work. But before we do, Andrew, if you could please talk about these really fun workshops we've been having.
But they're almost over.
They
Oh
are. It's
no.
sad. We've got more coming in June, though.
More will be coming in June, but if anybody has missed it, we have had 4 fantastic workshops this month and one that we missed. Aw.
Yeah.
Back at the start of the month, we had social media for authors, and Kate kicked it off big time with an amazing workshop that you can't miss. Pay for it. $5. It's worth a lot more. You're going to learn a lot about social media that you didn't know, and a lot about how to approach your social media business. Then we had Christopher Gare that was poking the commodic derriere and probably making us laugh our derriere off. We enjoyed it a lot, had a lot of fun. It too, fantastic content. Jump in. I was extremely impressed, backward and forward, using history and in order to write your novels, and they went forward and back and told us all how to handle it. Julianne and Xander were fantastic in this. It was a very good presentation. We already have one piece of creepiness from our workshop on creating trailers by Andy Lockwood. A little bit of creepy there because Deborah's children decided to make a trailer, and those of you that don't like clowns, stay away. But this is really, really good. If you don't have a book trailer right now, this will walk you through it and how to get in. And then we have one more of these in just a couple of days right now. So you can come and spend some time with me, and I'll keep you up at night, and you'll learn how to keep readers up at night, building suspense into your writing. And we're going to dissect a few stories, look at how they work, and everybody and I'm going to go ahead and do it. I didn't know if I was, but I'm going to go
I'm
ahead.
on the edge of my seat. Tell me, tell
Are
me,
you
tell
ready?
me.
Let me see if I've got it. Wait, is it in here? Oh no, maybe. There it is. Everybody that attends will be there for the release, and will get a copy of my newest book called A Slice of Fear, which will
Wow.
contain the story that we're going to be dissecting, which is called Faith. There is a copy of Faith in Diana's book that came out that is about COVID. And in A Slice of Fear, it's a very different take with suspense all the way. Everybody will walk away with a virtual copy through Kindle.
That's
And
extraordinary.
so we'll be giving that away to everyone, as well as books and more excitement. So we're going to have
Wow.
lots of fun on Wednesday.
Okay, I am super excited now. This is so cool. You are like the king of generosity, sir. I am so grateful. Thank you very, very much. That's going to be super fun. Oh my gosh.
We're
Okay,
going to have fun.
tonight we are going to be hearing from three children's authors, all excellent in their own fields, in their own way. I'm just overwhelmed with how cool the authors are that we've been showcasing this month. It's been just a treat for me. Melinda Faugust, also known as MT, but we call her Melinda because she's a friend. Carol Trimbath and Jordan J. Scavone, we are all going to hear from them in just a couple of seconds. But first, I want to show you the teaser screen as we always do. There it is. Three books, excuse me, three covers, three authors. Can you guess which author goes with which book? You'll know in just a minute because they're going to start reading. Okay, tonight we're going to start with Carol. Are you ready, ma'am?
Sure. Here we go.
Remember, oh, that's right. You've got the broadsides. Fantastic.
Yeah,
And
I'm going to try to center it.
okay,
That's so cool.
ready, set, and start reading.
At the itsy bitsy junction of the oak and hickory trees is the tiny village of Fairyville, home to fairies like me. I dwell there with my ma and pa in a stone cottage small and neat, with my sister Brigida, brother Brim, and our fairy pet Pete. Each day begins with a visit to Finnegan at the bake shop. He says, "Hello, Tinsley. Here's a goodie with sprinkles on top." Then my fairy friends and I fly off to work at Old Potter's Place, searching for pretty flowers we need like bluebells and Queen Anne's lace. I hope that works. We take our bouquets to Fairy Tower and climb the hidden stair to deliver them to the artist where they're painted with great care. My friends and I are curious about the top of the high tower, the place they make the fairy dust that gives us our flying power. While flying around the tower one day, exploring here and there, we heard a loud, unusual sound, and it gave us quite a scare. It was low and rumbling noise that shook the giant global tree. The fairies all flew out from the tower to have a look and see. The global tree wiggled and jiggled. We couldn't believe our eyes. In its broad trunk and tangled, gnarly roots were answers true and wise. "Please, tell us what is going on," we pleaded with the mighty tree. Then we listened for its guidance, just as powerful as can be. Mysterious winds whispered through the global tree's creaky branches. It told of fairies' hollow, surprisingly bad circumstances. "It seems to be," the tree proclaimed. "Many fairies are getting sick. There's something infecting them all, and it's happening rather quick. Take heed, only you can help. So my good advice you should follow. Stay As you attend to each and every Fairyville hollow, the global tree leaned forward and said to all Fae who could hear, from strangers and friends, keep a little distance and don't get too near. What else can we do? The fairies cried, but it seemed that no one knew. Let's go and ask our fairy council. We're sure they'll know what to do. So off we went to the high tree top where fairies all assembled to gather around the council as we shook with fear and trembled. The fairy council met quickly and decided upon a plan to find out the facts, take action, and to do all that it can. They sent all medical fairies to search hollows far and wide to find safe treatments, good advice, and which new rules to guide. Brigida and Brim were officially part of this newest task. They were told by the wisest of all elders to each wear a mask. He said, "This illness is airborne, and to many objects it clings. Take care not to touch your face, and wash your hands and your pixie wings." There's even more that you can do to help out our sweet fairy friends. Stay home, only shop when you must, but no more travel till this ends. Keep close ties with elders, bring them sweet smiles and a cupful of cheer. Help out your good Fairyville neighbors, but don't get too close, my dear. Now, my sister Brigida and brother Brim knew just what to do, and so to the fairy godmother's mighty hollow they quickly flew. They found her at home reading an old book near the stone wishing well, and asked for her wise advice they hoped and thought she would tell. Fairy godmothers must know what all sick fairies feel and endure. You need more laughter, not magic, she said, to hasten the right cure. It's time to send out bluebirds of happiness to lighten the load, and don't forget dragonflies to bring joy to their humble abode. The hour has come for all fairies to stretch out their smooth silver wings, taking our kindness and hope to other realms and all living things. Gather your supplies, trooping fairies. You will travel far and near, spreading a strong message of love and hope. They should have no more fear. Oh my, there's more. Fairy godmother bustled for a scroll and then read. Plant dreams of peace and joy. Let the news of our declaration spread. A whisper for children to remember when they wake from their sleep. Our guarded secret for all little ones to imagine and keep. Fairies are real and live here in Earth's sphere. Our hollow is hidden, and yet we are near. Believe in us, fairies, whatever you do, so our love will shine bright and carry you through. That's it.
Well done. You had exactly 2 seconds left on the clock. That's cutting it close. Good job. Spectacular art. We're going to talk about that in just a minute.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mr. Jordan, are you ready to read, sir? Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And your time begins now.
Some people are born to be heroes. They have that special quality, that one thing that lets them know that they're destined to save the world. Some can leap buildings in a single bound. Some are faster than trains, and some can even lift an elephant right over their heads. Emilia was one of those people. In fact, from the day she was born, Emilia was bold, outgoing, adventurous, and the first to say hello to others. As Emilia grew up, she became the most outgoing girl around. She loved the heroes in her books and did her best to emulate them. Emilia started first grade and quickly became friends with another very outgoing and brave girl named Emma, aka Mighty. One day, Emma came over to Emilia's house and was very surprised to see how different it was from her own. Emilia lived with her mom, dad, and grandfather, who she called Abuelo. Abuelo is my favorite person, Emilia said, gently holding his hand. But we can't play like we used to because he got sick last year. For the first time, Emma saw her new friend frown. A few weeks after meeting Abuelo, Emma was sad to see that Emilia wasn't in school one Monday. Then that Tuesday, then that Wednesday, Thursday, and even Friday. Emma put on her purple backpack and walked to Emilia's house. Emilia opened the door, tears stuck in the corners of her eyes. Emilia, what's wrong? Abuelo is gone. His illness beat him. Tears found Emma's eyes as she hugged her new friend. Emilia explained to Emma that at Abuelo's funeral, she was going to have to give part of his eulogy. It's a speech where you say nice things about someone, but I don't think I can do it. I know if anyone can, it's you, Emilia. You were the bravest girl I know. The funeral is tomorrow. Will you and your dad come? Emma nodded yes. At the funeral, everyone was dressed in black and had tears in the corner of their eyes. Emma sat near the front with her dad, clutching her purple backpack tight. Emilia walked up to the podium, holding a piece of paper. Upwe, upwe. Tears filled her eyes as she turned away and covered her face. Emma, however, had a brilliant idea. She ran behind the podium with her friend, unzipped her backpack, and handed Emilia a real superhero mask and cape. Purple, of course, which was Emma's favorite color. Softly, Emilia smiled, and with Emma's help, she transformed into Mighty. She stood at the podium. The once sad and scared little girl was gone. In her place was the same girl, but now she was comfortable being strong for her abuelo. Abuelo was my best friend. He taught me to sing, he taught me to make churros, and I will never forget how he would greet me with a smile whenever I came home from school. Te quiero, abuelo. Mighty Emilia walked up to her friend, reaching back to take the gifted mask off. No, you keep it. I needed it when I started preschool, and you needed it today. Maybe someone else will need it in the future. Emilia smiled, much like Emma. She knew that it was okay to feel sad, scared, or anxious, but she also knew that she could overcome those emotions when the time came. Emilia would always have her memories of her abuelo, and the pictures of them in her room would always fill her with joy. The end.
Well done. Yay! You had a whole minute left. Good job. Well done.
Because I
All
didn't stop
right.
to ask questions.
Yeah, right. Melinda, are you ready to read?
As I'll ever be.
Perfect. Your time begins now.
10 little crawfish swimming in a swamp. One thought he heard some zydeco and stopped to dance and stomp. 9 little crawfish went strolling through the quarter. One took him a riverboat because that way was shorter. 8 little crawfish eating some beignets. One took him a long high soak in his cafe au lait. 7 little crawfish went down to Jackson Square. One called him a buggy ride. They got out front down there. 6 little crawfish went cheering at the dome. One stayed in the end zone where the black and gold roam. 5 little crawfish went to the Mardi Gras. One joined along in the parade, throwing beads out with his claw. 4 little crawfish rode the streetcar down the track. One had so much fun, he said, I'm never going back. 3 little crawfish saw a voodoo doll. One ran away and cried out loud, I don't like this at all. And 2 little crawfish went tromping through the zoo. One stayed with the monkeys where they all ask for you. And 1 little crawfish wanted a snowball. He waddled down to Metri where they got the best now, y'all. 10 little crawfish all tired and tuckered out from seeing all the sights to see in New Orleans and about.
Well done. You got that with almost 2.5 minutes left on the clock. Well done. Yay! Oh my goodness, so much fun tonight. I am crying. I'm laughing so hard. Okay, awesome. Let's go to the guessing thing because I think this guessing thing is going to be pretty fast
Easy.
because you guys are, pretty smart. So here we go. There's the screen, everybody. Here's the guessing poll. If you guys remember, everybody who guesses it correctly gets bragging rights on Facebook. So make sure that you go to Facebook tomorrow and everybody brag about how much fun we had reading children's books tonight. It'll be super fun. Wow. I can't even believe how much fun I'm having. Okay. Once again, we are proving to the universe that children's books are not just for children. I don't know about you guys, but I love it when somebody reads me a story out loud, and if I get to giggle along at the same time, super fun. Yay! Okay, here we go. We're almost everybody is in. Just a couple more people. This is where we need the Jeopardy music. I don't have it. Okay. All right, I'm going to turn off the polling now, and I'm going to show everybody the results, and I'm also going to show you the correct answers. There they are. So
hard.
Carol Trimbrath brought us fairies, the global tree, and the fairy flew. Melinda Falgos brought us 10 little crawfish. Holy moly, so cute. And Mighty E. Amelia was brought to us by Jordan J. Scavone. What a great story of strength. Wow. We had a blast with this one. Oh my gosh, so much fun. I can't even stand it. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for such awesome readings. You guys are great. Before we take questions or conversation from the chat room, I would really appreciate it if all of you would please give a shout out to your illustrators. Tell us who they are and how we can learn more about them. Carol, I will start with you, ma'am.
Okay, I'm a member of the Society of Children's Book Writers and Illustrators.
Okay.
And my Water Walker books were done by a Native American, so that wouldn't work for this.
Yeah.
So, within the SCBWI site, every state has on the side panel has a link to their illustrators, which change up. And when you look at that, you'll see 9 boxes, and you can click on a portfolio from 9 people in that state. The big states like Texas, New York, California, Florida, they have multiple, not just one, but they'll have, in San
5 or 6 in a category then.
Right, in that state. So you can look. So I ended up with like 6 or 7, maybe 10 people, and some responded, some didn't. But this one gal, Lori Taylor, she's from near Grand Rapids. She goes, oh yeah, I really want to do it. And she has been an artist of note in that she won several places, artist in resident for Mackinac Island and other places.
Mm-hmm.
So she was so excited. She's going, I just have already these ideas. And I go, okay. Within 2 days, she got on board with it and she started. And I said, Lori, this has got to be done quick. I said, because it's a pandemic. And she said, I said, how fast you can do it? She says, I can get it done in 6 weeks. She was done in 8 weeks. My artist for my Native American books, he takes about a year. This was done in 8 weeks. She got it zipped out.
That's remarkable.
And it came out. So it was a real speedo thing. And I think it had to be because it's about the pandemic. Only it's written in a narrative that is suitable for little kids and they don't get scared. Because right now they're frightened. They hear everything that's going on and they, should I wear this mask? Wash your hands in pixie wings, So if the fairies can do it, we can do it.
Absolutely. So. Thank you so much for sharing your book and your illustrator with us. Jordan, will you please tell us about your illustrator for this book?
So my illustrator's name is Greg. We've actually been friends since 7th grade.
Okay.
And we've wanted to do a book together for literally since like almost 20 years. But he's more of a traditional artist, and it wasn't really lending to anything. And when he finally switched to digital stuff, his computer's all broke. So he just got like new drawing stuff this past year. So we finally were like, I was like, I need somebody who can replicate the style, because this is a sequel to my first book, but
Right.
the illustration style is very different. I wanted to go more comic heavy with it. Um, so I needed someone who could replicate the style while still making it diverse in their own thing, and he was perfect for it. And it was really great to finally be able to work with him.
Absolutely. Yeah. I love you always find such great illustrators for your books. The diversity in the art is fabulous. So keep doing what you're doing. Melinda, will you tell us about your illustrator, please? They're such delightful pictures.
Well, it's actually me.
Really? You did this?
Yes, ma'am.
Good job.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I actually illustration is actually secondary as far as book talent goes for me. My first foray into illustration was actually competing in the Oshima Picture Book Museum's International Picture Book Competition. And you can enter into two categories. You can either enter into the traditional picture book format, which is just the plain two-dimensional, illustrations, or you can enter into the pop-up category. Now, because of the nature of the contest, your pop-ups have to be entirely hand engineered and workable. And so I had a story called Lousy Liver. And I'm going to show you guys one of my absolute most favorite pop-ups that I constructed for that book.
Wow. That's remarkable.
So, but that one went on to actually be the only US winner that year's competition. And the hand version of the pop-up book lived in the Picture Book Museum for 30 days, where
That's
over
incredible.
30,000 children got to interact with my book.
That's
So
spectacular. How
that
cool.
was pretty awesome.
That's awesome. Wow. That's very cool. For those of you who are really excited about that book, stay tuned. We'll be giving it away later in the contest in the thing.
Benny.
What is this thing I'm
Benny
doing?
thing.
Festival, right? Festival. So stay tuned. Wow, this is so much fun. I'm super impressed with all of you with your story ability. I just recently wrote a children's book. We're going to give away a copy of that tonight, and I found it the writing was so much more challenging to take a story and condense it into such a short form. I wrote for, it's my first picture book. My husband did the illustration, so it was nice to be able to work in close concert with him on it. But it took a while to, get the text exactly where I wanted it. And it's only like 30 pages long. It's not a big, it's like 15 pages of text. It's not a big deal. So I'm my hat's off to all of you for being able to do this with such tremendous acumen. I think it's awesome. Kate, do we have any questions from the Q&A or the chat? Anybody have any questions out there? Kate or Andrew, do you have questions for our panelists?
I'm just overwhelmed with the talent, to be perfectly honest. I'm kind of just, for once, struck speechless, and that doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, I hear you. Me too. It's pretty amazing.
I'm overwhelmed too, and the great piece is that all three put such character behind their books as they were reading them, and that's something that we don't see a ton of. We see, hey, we've got a great accent here. Makes me almost want to go down and visit the bayous again, but hey. Almost.
It's pretty remarkable. I love how children's storytelling brings out the theater person in all of us. We all want to get out there and tell a really strong story that will touch children, and I think all three of you have done that in spades tonight. It's super
I agree.
cool. Yeah.
I think they're
Definitely.
awesome. Give them
Awesome.
a raise. Wait,
If I could, I would.
are we paying it? Oh, we're not paying.
Ooh, we do
Sorry.
have a question.
Yeah. Go.
Mark wants to know, do you have to think like a kid to write a children's book? Are you guys immature juveniles?
Leave that question. That's Mark.
That's Mark.
Go, Mark.
Congratulations, Mark. You're feeling better, I can tell.
Yeah, me too. Whew.
So let's talk about that for a second. Do you have to be in a kid mindset to do this? Or can you be a grown-up and channel what children want to hear? Jordan, you work in a preschool all day. You work with little minds and little body. Oh, sorry. Okay, answer my question.
I think it depends on the kind of book you're doing. If you're doing, one that's pure entertainment and interesting and looks at a location, almost how like Melinda's was, where it was just like, it was very fun, it was very peppy, it was very colorful. I feel like you do need to be more in that kid mindset versus it's actually all Disney dads. This was my first shirt I bought as a dad, but thank you. Yeah, I so like if you're doing like Melinda's, it's fun, it's peppy, it's all over the place. I definitely think you need more of that kid mind. Whereas specifically with these two, and then so Carol's, I feel like is more in the middle, where she needed that kid aspect to get the fairy element in there and then the fun in there, but still looking at the adult element of these more complicated concepts with COVID and everything like that. And then I feel like we kind of hit like all three branches, where mine is still relatively serious in terms of its death and grieving background. But I still have to, even when you do a more serious topic, you still need to put fun into it in some way, shape, or form. And that's, again, that goes back to my illustrator, where I knew that, you would look at this cover and you would say, oh, that looks fun. And then even, you look at the sad pages and it switches from this gloom, dark thing all the way up to, the next page is big and bright again.
Yeah,
So
I think the illustrations in children's books are just so critical. I mean, I learned that working with my husband when we put Emmett's Elephant together. Carol, what's your take on this? How much of a kid did you feel that you needed to become to write this story?
Well, I went to Ireland, and my grandmother is 100% Irish. So when the tour bus went around and talked about how the fairies came to Ireland, because it was like, everybody should know this, but we already know this, right? They came from Greece, they settled, they fought the Millicents there, and they put a fog over Ireland for 3 days. And they made a treaty with the Millicents, who are the humans. And the treaty was that it's a sacred contract, that the fairies will live below ground in the hollows and mounds. And then cleverly, the Millicents said, well, we'll live above ground. So the fairies, though, have sacred trees. And when I saw a fairy tree, and the bus was going down a motorway, and the guide said, look to the left of the viaduct, that's a fairy tree. I just knew that I had, and I wouldn't let him go until I could hear everything about the fairies. So I carried back with me a lot of books about Ireland and fairies, and just kept it in my heart, to the point where, in me, it's like a little ticking inside. It says, you're going to write this now, because the point was, kids are scared and frightened. It's time for you to wear your mask and wash your hands and pixie wings. So, so it worked. So there might be another book about fairies similar to this, saving the world.
Awesome. I love it.
We'll see.
Yeah, no, I love it. Melinda, I feel like I've gotten to know you over this month as we've talked on the phone and exchanged emails, and I get a sneaky sensation that writing this book was not tremendously difficult for you.
My husband snores. I wrote it on my phone lying in bed because I couldn't sleep because he was snoring.
That's a good use of your time.
Yeah, actually, for me, if I love calling myself a writer because it justifies the voices in my head.
Yeah.
But quite often, some of the stories that come most easily to me are the ones where the characters just suddenly come knocking, on my amygdala one day saying, excuse me, my turn,
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
And they will not let me rest until their story gets down on paper in one form or another.
Yeah,
But
I can completely relate to that. In my writers group, they have come to call me slightly schizophrenic. So I definitely get the voices thing. Absolutely.
hate when they decide to go on a coffee break when I'm in the middle of a chapter.
Yeah, as we were talking last night, Drake has spent the better part of this past year in New Zealand, and they were on complete and total lockdown there. It was not fun.
We do have a question.
Yes.
The question is, has anyone thought of pitching their books to a bigger children's publisher like Scholastic or others?
I'd like to answer this. I
Yeah.
have met the head of Scholastic. I was at Mackinac Island at a conference, and we talked in the line for breakfast, having breakfast at the conference. And he is the head of Scholastic. He's recently has his own publishing group, but he said, we only publish three picture books a year. That's all we do. And so they're not going to risk with me, a new author, so to speak, $50,000 to $100,000 in promotion for someone who is an indie self-publishing person. They look to someone who is very, very traditional and well-known.
Well-known. Yeah.
Yeah.
James Patterson.
Yeah. Right, one-on-one with the head of Scholastic, the CEO, and at the conference on Mackinac Island about 4 years ago. Yeah. So it's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's
just
crazy.
Off on the side, I had a similar conversation with Simon and Schuster about other genres, and they said, if you're not famous, we're not going to put the money into it.
Nope.
It's really frustrating. That's another reason why I wanted to put this together, so that we can share our work on a greater scale with a greater audience, because the big publishers just don't have any interest. And I think it's time we make them sit up and take notice. So
we'll show them.
Yeah.
We will.
And Charlie agrees. We're going to show them. Gosh darn it. Okay. Any other questions or comments?
Well, I'm curious if Jordan, have you pitched your book? I mean,
yeah.
So after my first book came out, I thought about going traditional, and I pitched my second book, and no one wanted to publish a book about a African American girl written by a white guy.
Oh,
so,
okay.
I was like, well, they're probably not going to want to publish the book about transgender or the book about this either. So I like the freedom that being independently published allows me to have.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it lets me, tell the stories that I want to tell and tell them to the people that I want to tell them to in the way that I want to tell them.
Yeah, it gives you a lot of freedom that way. Melinda, what about you? Have you pitched to a big house?
Well, I'm a hybrid. I was first published by Harlequin Books. I co-authored, and I sort of backdoored my way into that via a contest. But I am co-authored with Harlequin Romance. But that is the only traditionally published title that I have. Everything else I have is under my own imprint. And as Jordan was saying, I really like being an indie author because it lets me tell the stories I want to tell in the way that I want to tell them. And as far as whether I'll ever court the big publishers again, I approached it with the same philosophy as I did going through high school. Look, I'm going to do my thing. You're welcome to join me and come on board with me, but I'm not going to bend over backwards to change what I'm doing just to fit in with your crowd.
Good for you. Good for you. I like that.
Yeah. And the thing too is that books have and story has is that as much as we would love our babies to fly off the shelves all by themselves, books don't necessarily sell books. People do, because it's the story that connects us as humans. And I find that I do so much more in selling books when I am either person to person or in a venue such as this one than I do if my book just kind of lingers on Amazon by itself and I don't do anything with it, which is no more than it would do if it were with a big publisher.
Yeah, no, I agree. Have any of you gotten what's the question here? Eric says, have any of the readers gotten good results with IBPA or with Goodreads? Have any of you broached those? Andrew, can you talk to that for a minute?
Goodreads comes and goes. Occasionally you can get some traction with Goodreads, but sometimes, I would suggest that everybody pay very close attention to Kate McNeil and go back to her social media press and how she approached social media. And instead of either Facebook or Instagram or one of the three that you would pick Goodreads, because in order to drive readers, it takes a significant amount of work in Goodreads, just like it does with any other social media. And I've made some good contacts on Goodreads, and then I would lose interest in a while because you would come to a stopping point.
But like with anything, it is a pot you have to watch.
Yeah, it is
right?
A pot that you have to watch. You have to watch the reviews on it. You have to, because the reviews do feed well, and you have to watch the key influencers. And it's a good thing to be a part of, but you have to pick and choose. So I strongly suggest go back, watch Kate's video, and consider that as one of the choice. It's just another social media platform. It just happens to be focused on books. And I've found, I'm in several groups and I'm active in the short story group from time to time. I've found that it's just as much of a social media platform as Facebook.
That's been my experience as well.
There's a lot of it that has nothing to do with books, but it starts with a bookish theme.
Yeah, no, I agree.
If you're looking for review blurbs as well, because if you think about it, Amazon, I always like to say they also sell salad shooters. So you're going to get trolls that go through and give you a 1-star review, and now they can rank or rate your book and not even leave you a review. Whereas Goodreads, they're there because they love books, not because they wanted to buy a salad shooter. And so I've definitely found, and keep in mind too, there's a lot of people that don't like Amazon and they don't want to be on Amazon. My number 2, where I sell most of my books, is Apple Books, actually. So when it comes to, if you are looking for a really good, just like little quote blurb, Goodreads is probably going to be the place where you're more likely to find that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a really good point. Keep that in mind for June.
And BookBub is now climbing its way to being a platform for authors. It just depends on, how much work you want to put into it.
And how much money you want to spend on advertising, right?
I think, the nice thing about Goodreads, the nice thing about Instagram is that your investment is your time. And to me, time is a significant cost. I don't have that much left. But no, as you get older, you think, okay, what do we want to face? But BookBub and several of the others, they're looking for cash, Amazon ads are looking for cash. My new book is out partially right now, and I find it hilarious on Amazon that if you go search for it by name, and it is the only one by name, that it won't show up for 5 pages for all of the people that advertise, even though none of them have the name in it. So it's
Yeah, I'm not a fan of advertising algorithms because they never seem to be consistent, and it's a frustrating game to play. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I was going to say, and what Eric threw out here, we all have to remember that Goodreads is now owned by Amazon.
That's right.
And
That's right.
you know, that's it's just like one of my favorite sites, Woot, is now owned by Amazon. Amazon is buying out a lot of places, and beware.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Be very careful, especially since if you haven't experienced this for yourself, Amazon will take down reviews from what they consider your friends and family. If you think that's an urban legend, I've had it happen to me. And I actually have a screenshot that someone sent me that specifically says you're not allowed to leave a review on this book. So just a heads up, especially now that Amazon does own Goodreads. It's all...
I've lost over 40 reviews on Vengeful Son. And I think it's 43 now. And they said, we'll send a screenshot. You have to prove that it's not somebody that you already know. Well, I met all these people at shows. And,
right.
Or they're my street team.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's the nature of what we do that snatches us. Thank you so much, everybody. This has been a really great session. I've had a blast. Let's do the spinning wheel of happiness. What do you say? How about we give away some books and we have a little bit more fun? Let me see if I can find the spinning wheel. Can everybody see the spinning wheel tonight? Did I actually get it this time?
Yes.
Yay, I'm very excited. Okay, we are giving away 4 books tonight. All 4 of them are children's books, and a couple of them have swag to go with them. So let's spin the wheel and see what happens. Here we go. Yay, Angela! Congratulations, Angela.
Whoa.
You get 10 Little Crawfish by Melinda Faugust. And you know what's really cool with this? I hope you have a tiny person in your life, because I don't know if you guys can see this, but this is a crawfish pacifier. This is the cutest little thing I have ever seen. I left it in its crinkly plastic because, you know, it's pacifier. But yeah, isn't that fun? Thank you, Melinda. Very, very cool. Okay, let's go to the second spinning wheel of happiness. If I can get the screen up. Here we go, spinning wheel of happiness. Julie Nelson! Congratulations, Jules. You know what you get? You get Carol Trembath's book, Fairies and the Global Tree to the Rescue. You're gonna love this. This is I have to show this art again just because it's so incredibly spectacular. I love this tree. Oh my gosh.
I saw that one in person too. That is just the most stunning amount of detail. It's just gorgeous.
Absolutely amazing. Incredible. The detail on it is like wow. Okay, let's do spinning wheel number 3. Here we go, spinning wheel happiness number 3. Arlington, you get Jordan Scavone's book, Mighty E. Emilia. Yay! You're gonna love this. This is an awesome story. Awesome story. Okay. And then the final spinning wheel of happiness. Let's do this one more time, everybody. Dee, 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 dee. There she is, Diana Jewell, our #1 obsessed indie fan. I'm going to send you a copy of Emmett Elephant's Love. This is the book that I wrote with my husband. He did all the illustrations. And with this book, you're also going to get a little stuffed Emmett Elephant, too. Isn't he cute? He's cute. Charlie thinks it's his toy. Charlie is mistaken. Thank you, everybody. Super, super fun. Now, I suppose we have to tell you how you get your books. Some of you may know, some of you have not won yet, so you may not know. This is how you do it. Huzzah, you've won a book. So by midnight tonight, you have to send an email to me at diana@pagespromotions.com to claim your prize. In the email, give me your mailing address so that I can trudge yet again to the post office with packages in my arms and send you your books. We're coming to the end of the month, and I'd like to get these things out of my house. Seriously, I got to make room for the next books coming in June. So make sure you send me that by midnight tonight. Now, if you've already sent me your email address or your mailing address because you won before, don't take that for granted. Send it to me again anyway, because this is my email is my to-do list. So make sure you send that. Also, bonus prizes. Look inside your books when you get them. If you want a book, look inside. You may find one of our 3 bonus ticket prizes. The golden ticket, if you get that one, you will win a Kindle Fire 7 tablet. This is the ad-free version. If you get the silver ticket, you will get the Blood in the Rain prize box donated to us by author Jacob Bullen. This is the first 2 books in the Blood in the Rain series and a super snazzy hooded sweatshirt to go with. And if you get the bronze ticket, you will win our own Andrew Smith's Masterson Files collection, which is 5, count them, 5 books in the Masterson Files series. Plus, you'll get a snazzy canvas tote bag to carry them all in because it's 5 books. And then you'll also get this amazing thing. This is an aluminum sippy cup tumbler made for grown-ups. It's aluminum and it's huge. It's like, see how big it is? It's bigger than my head, and it's got a sippy lid so you don't spill your cocoa or your tea. And it's super. It's blue. It's super cool. This is an amazing gift. So that all comes in the bronze ticket prize box. Yeah, what was that, Andrew?
You got to say, and that's not all.
Right. Well, and you do it so much better than I do. And that's not all. If I can find out what I did with my mouse.
And now you also have to say, why don't you tell us about it, Kate?
I was going to do that, but I had to find my mouse first. Kate, tell us about the extra super bonus prize bots.
Okay, so picture all these videos that you've seen of kids opening something on Christmas morning, and it's something they really wanted, and they just basically lose their fool mind, just screaming and yelling and banging their head on the couch, and they're just that excited. So I would imagine if you opened up one of these books you've won and you found a ticket in there, you'd probably have the same reaction, but restrain yourself. Hand over your phone or camera to a loved one and have them record you dancing around the house with the ticket, singing the song, I've Got a Golden Ticket, from the original Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory movie. We only need 30 seconds, says Diana. If it were up to me, it would be the entire song.
Seriously, I'm a theater brat and 30 seconds is enough.
Oh, but so good. So not if, when you do this and post it to Facebook, what may you win?
Well, we're giving away just a huge box of stuff. We're giving away my entire catalog, which is 9 books in 9 different genres. We're giving away 1 book of your choice from Kate's catalog and 1 book of your choice from Jordan Scavone's catalog. So that's 11 books in 10 genres to 3 super brave musical winners. Now, what if you want to do this anyway? Just because. Post your video to our Facebook page, just like everybody else is going to do. even if you didn't get a ticket, and I'll send you one of my books of your choice out of my catalog. If you're queasy about singing on camera by yourself, call Andrew. He's already offered that
I
he'll dance and sing.
volunteer. If
He
you're
voluntold.
shy, if you just aren't sure of yourself, we'll Zoom together and we'll sing it together and we'll work it out and then we'll post it together. It'll be awesome. But we'll make sure you get over your stage fright and get out there. I don't think I have any stage fright, but you know, we'll work
No.
together. It'll be fun.
It'll be great fun. So that's what you do. That's how you get prizes. It just couldn't be much easier than this, right? So in addition, like if we're not giving away enough stuff, Andrew, can you talk about this for me, please?
I can. And this is really exciting, mainly because of Diana, because Diana, our greatest reader, has entered. This is our second flash fiction contest this month. All you have to do is write a story, 350 words or fewer, by the end of tomorrow, February 23rd, and start your story with this opening line: "The entrance to the tunnel was the only way out." Type, copy, well, however you want to do it, underneath this in the announcements page, and 5 stories will be selected. And if you're picked by all of us fantastic people, that means everybody gets to vote. If you're picked, you receive a trio of books by Scott Rutherford, Carol Tremba, and Andy Lockwood. And with Scott's, you also get a free music piece. So you're going to have lots of fun with this. You could win. It was great. And there are stories out there right now that I'm like, wow, these are good. And
yeah, and even if you're not going to enter the flash fiction contest, and shame on you if you don't, but even if you're not going to do that, go in and read these short stories. They are fantastic. We're having a great time with this.
And they're all over the place.
Just because we're having so much fun with it, between now and June when we do our next festival, I'm going to continue posting some of these on the Facebook page, and we'll continue to give away prizes. So watch the Facebook page for more of these flash fiction things coming up. We're a community of writers, a tribe of crazy creatives, and we're just going to keep doing it to keep ourselves in practice. Now, what I'm really excited to tell you about is our community is growing. Our Facebook page has over 650 people in it right now, which blows my brain because the last 175 of them came to us in the last month. I'm getting to meet new authors I've never heard of. I get to be introduced to new books that I didn't know existed, and I'm having so much fun. I hope you are too. We're going to come back and do it again in June. Our June theme is the Summer Reading Regatta. These are the participating authors so far. Just before we came on Zoom tonight, I got one more that I haven't had a chance to process their application yet, but here it is. It's we're having a blast, and we have lots of space for lots of authors. So I'm just going to keep adding to this list as more people sign up. How do you sign up? Well, you have to be an indie or a small press author. And you can join us and add your book to the harbor full of books waiting to be discovered. Early bird is $25. Last minute is $50. Registration deadline is May 15th. I have some really fun games and contests planned for everybody. I have one contest that I'm doing that's specifically for authors. So you guys can have some fun winning some prizes right along with us. Check it out. If you don't already know the website, it's pagespromotions.com. It's right there in the top menu. You can find it. If you have questions, reach out to me on Facebook. Okay, so I think that's that. This has been just a great night. Children's fun stories and craft conversation, and everybody, I'm blown away. This is so much fun. So, parting shot across the bow as we get ready for June's Summer Reading Regatta. Carol, do you have any parting words for us?
Gosh, I'm just thrilled to, this is my first time with your group, and I just enjoy all the different flavors and people coming in and giving little hints on things to do and ideas. You know, we're always searching for some new way to do marketing, and the excitement of listening to other authors. You're not alone. We're together in this, and we're
Yeah.
pushing our whole agenda forward in little steps, but it'll make a difference. The wave is coming. I'm looking forward to the June regatta.
Awesome. Awesome.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to having you coming back, Carol.
Yep.
Jordan, any parting shots across the bow for us?
I don't know anything about boats.
Come to the festival in June. I'll teach you. You're going to learn so much just by signing up. The vocabulary I'm going to give you is remarkable.
No, this was fun. This was good times. I liked talking to people. I like seeing people's faces. You don't see people's faces anymore, so it's nice to see face. Well, Andrew, you can cover your face. That's fine. But it's fun to get to actually see people's faces again, who are not the
Absolutely.
people that I see at my work every day, whose faces I technically don't even see. So
Right, because we're, yeah. Melinda, any parting shots across the bow, my dear? You have to turn your mic on first.
would probably help.
Silent cannon fire is an interesting thing, isn't it?
You know, but I'm actually kind of disappointed because I would have thought that Andrew would have jumped in with some, you know, ASL there for me. You know.
Yeah, Andrew, what happened to your puppet? Did you not find him?
I know.
I haven't found him.
Oh no, find him.
I'm so sad. I apologize to everyone. I have my other puppets, but I have somewhere in all of the boxes that are 50 times what Jordan has behind him, I have a lobster hand puppet, and he's missing.
Oh
I
no.
expect it to be found by June.
I know it has to be found. I'll have to
It has
find
to
it.
be found by June.
It will be good.
But as far as you know, parting shots across the bow from me, yeah, this is what it's all about. It's about sharing story because that's what connects us as humans, and it's even more fun when you can connect with little humans when you're writing children's stuff. So just keep writing, everybody, keep reading, everybody, and hope to catch you on the flip side.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us. Kate, any parting shots across the bow? My sanity saver in the backstage.
I think I would just say that tonight proved very, very ably that you can just be young at heart. You don't have to be young to enjoy these children's books because, like I said, I'm still just blown away with the sheer talent that we got to see tonight.
Absolutely. The great thing, it's going to be on YouTube, so we can watch it over and over again.
Mhm.
Andrew, parting shots, please, sir.
I have two things. We sat and we talked about the flash fiction, and I strongly encourage, if you're an author, jump in and add to the flash fiction. If you're a reader, jump in and read the flash fiction. But there is something else. If you go to the Pages promotion site and if you look around on Facebook, there's also a call for submissions for Between the Lines, writers of every age, stage, every genre, ready to submit. All of that information is out there. These are, they become great little books on that are anthologies that all of us can be a part of, and we can all bind together and have a little piece of each other, as well as maybe get some more books out there. And then the second thing that I have, which is kind of important, is Diana, have we got our Library of Congress number yet?
No, I'm very, very frustrated with the government right now. We put together an anthology last fall called Simple Things, and I have not been able to get my Library of Congress control number. It's really a frustrating process. I'm going to be at it full steam ahead tomorrow, and maybe the tech support people will be able to help me. I've never had this problem before, so hopefully we'll get it tomorrow. Thank you for reminding everybody about Between the Lines. This is an anthology that we're doing. The submission date is June 30th, so you have some time to work on it. And I want to remind you that all of the anthologies that we produce, the proceeds 100% of the proceeds go to support the World Literacy Foundation. This is a really important program for me. I think it's important that we share literacy across the world, and writing for an anthology like this, I think, is one of the most important things we can do. So, check it out on the page on pagespromotions.com and on the Facebook page.
And that's not all. I really appreciate all three of you for reading and keeping us all young, because it was fantastic fun and always is. And I look forward to meeting you again. I've met Jordan. I think I've met Carol too. So it's lots of fun. Yay.
Tomorrow, come on back and join us. We're doing historical fiction tomorrow. This is going to be a blast. We're going to have a really good time. Come on back, join us, win some more books. I got to give them on my front room, because really, I got more books coming in for the next festival already, and I got to keep them separate. So come on in, join us tomorrow. Thank you, everybody, for your reading and your talent and your enthusiasm. And let's do it again tomorrow. Thank you. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.